Hey guys, it's Justine here from I Should Read That, and today I'm going to be showing you my Boxing Day book haul. So if you've been around here for a while, you may know that I come from an extraordinarily bookish family, and one of the things that we like to do is we like to get out of the house on Boxing Day, which is the 26th of December, for anyone who's not in the UK, and we like to go to our local Waterstones. And over the past few years, Waterstones has been doing a 50% off selected hardbacks sale, so that makes the incentive even greater. So I completely and utterly ruined my end of year TBR goals by picking up 14 books, 13 of which I have not read. One of them I have. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into what I bought because there's a lot of really good stuff here, from novellas to extraordinarily long books. And just a super quick shout out to this bookmark that I picked up while I was waiting in the queue. It's just fantastic. So 4 of the books that I bought were half price. So those are A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping by Sangu Mandana. Now I have not yet read The Very Secret Society for Irregular Witches. I have that on my shelf. My sister actually gifted it to me a couple of years ago for Christmas, and I've heard that these are kind of like companion novels. They're not like in a series though. This sounds wonderful, very cozy fantasy, and I'm not usually a huge cozy fantasy person, but apparently I will absolutely love this. It's magic, innkeeping, and a bit of romance, so this sounds like it's going to be really lovely. The only downside is that I did realize that this copy is a little bit beaten up, but it's okay because it's going to sit on my shelf like this. No one will ever know the difference. I picked up a copy of The Impossible Fortune by Richard Osman. I just caught up on this series earlier this year, and of course he had to go and publish another book in September. I have been looking forward to this very much. These are really sweet, really fun, kind of cozy crime books that are not only fun and cozy, they're also like incredibly emotionally devastating, and I am just completely and totally in love with these characters. There's a film that was made for Netflix that's pretty fun. I thought it was fine. If you haven't seen it, it's about four people in a retirement home who basically go around solving crimes and generally being menaces to society, which I absolutely love. Little Dax was crying at the door, and her requirement for being able to come in here while I'm filming is she has to be on camera. Isn't she cute? She's gonna settle down in my lap for the rest of this video, so you probably won't see her again, but she's here. Another half-price crime book that I picked up is The Murder at World's End by Ross Montgomery. Now, he is apparently a children's author. I don't really read any children's books, so I don't know of him, but I've heard the name before, and I've heard that he's really fun. So this is set in Cornwall in 1910. It's a remote location. It's very British. There's a murder. I'm sure it's either a locked room mystery or like a crumbling, country mansion, very a la Agatha Christie type book. This sounds really, really fun. I'm looking forward to it, and my mom apparently wants to read it next, so I've got to get to it soon. And I debated whether or not I should get this next book because I haven't actually started the first one, but I've heard it's fabulous. So this is The Strength of the Few by James Islington. The first book in the series is The Will of the Many, which I can actually see is right there. I'm probably going to be picking it up in the next month or two. All I know about this is it has like a really cool kind of like ancient Rome-esque world, which very much appeals to me, and I have heard this is very much like fantasy. I happen to really enjoy fantasy though, as long as it's got like some women in it who are well written and don't just want to bang the main character. Maybe I'm cursing myself and that's exactly what this book is going to be, but I have heard it's fabulous, so I'm really looking forward to it. And it is also a massive book. I think this is like 700 something pages. This is, yeah, just over 700 pages. So one of my goals for next year, spoiler alert, is that I would like to read some more long books, so this could be a really good one for me. So that's it for the half-price hardbacks. These are the hardbacks that were full price. In case you're wondering, I did get a nice big Waterstones gift card for Christmas, and it immediately got dumped into the store. So the first of my full price hardbacks is Bora Chung's The Midnight Timetable. So I read Cursed Bunny a couple of years ago now, and I absolutely loved it. They're short stories. I believe they're translated from Korean, and it was just a fantastic book. So I saw she had something new, and I got very, very excited, especially because these are ghost stories. I love this edition. I love a naked hardback. These are always going to be my favorite editions. And hello, Daxie. And it also has fabulous end papers, and this copy is actually signed by the author. And it's very tasty, apparently. A book that I have wanted for absolute ages and hadn't gotten around to until I saw it on the shelf was The Reaper by Jackson P. Brown. This is meant to be fantastic. I was hoping to get an advanced copy of it, but I didn't. So I decided to actually buy the hardback because apparently it's amazing. This is a new take on Grim Reapers. It's set in London. We follow a girl who is an empath and a young man who is basically a Grim Reaper for hire, and it's meant to be really, really wonderful. I have been so curious about this for so long. I'm really, really looking forward to this. I think I'm going to pick it up soon. Then I managed to find a Waterstones edition of a book I have been very much looking forward to. This is Never Ever After by Sue Lynn Tan. She is the author of one of my absolute favorite duologies, which is The Daughter of the Moon Goddess. This is her foray into young adult literature, and it is a Chinese mythology-inspired Cinderella story. This sounds great. I absolutely love. If you have not read The Daughter of the Moon Goddess duology, please do yourselves a favor and pick that up. It's wonderful. It's one of the best endings I've ever read. This is one I'm really, really, really hyped about. I'm really looking forward to this. And the last of my full-priced hardbacks is quite heavy to hold up. It is a big book at over 750 pages. This is The Shipwright and the Shroud Weaver, and this is by Raphael Torrubia. So this was pitched as N.K. Jemisin meets Tolkien in a Scottish fantasy world. I'm sold, right? And I also saw one of my friends who I believe works for Blackwell's read this and just absolutely fell in love with it and absolutely adored it. So this has been on my list for a little while. It sounds fantastic. And again, because I do have that goal of trying to read some longer books next year, this is absolutely on my radar for reading for part of that resolution. I totally missed a hardcover because it's a novella and it was hiding under the paperbacks. That is Fate's Bane by C.L. Clarke. This is a Tor.com novella. I heard C.L. Clarke, I heard novella. I believe it's a sapphic novella, judging from the front cover, and I don't really need to know anything else about it. I'm totally here for it. I love her. A tragic sapphic adventure. This is gonna break my heart. Okay, for real this time, we are getting to the last books that I bought, which are these 5 paperbacks. So the first book is the only one in the stack that I have already read. This is a trophy copy for my shelf. This is How to Hold Someone in Your Heart by Mizuki Sugimura. She is the author of Lonely Castle in the Mirror, which is one of my absolute all-time favorite books. This is the second in a new series about a young man who is a go-between between the living and the dead. People can come to him and request a meeting with a person who has been deceased, and they can meet up with them for one night only. There's a whole bunch of rules. It's wonderful, really wonderful series. So I picked this one up so that it can go with my other books from her. Next, I have a book that I've had my eye on for a little while. This is Petty Lies by Sulmi Bak. This is a debut novel translated from Korean, and it is one that sounds fabulous. All it says on the inside, like, flap is, "I'm writing to you regarding the murder of your son. The mother, the brother, the tutor, the son. 4 versions of the same story, no happy endings." This sounds great. You guys are probably aware by now of my deep love for Pushkin Vertigo and their murder books, and they have released a copy of The Lady Vanishes by Ethelina White. Now, most of the books that I have read from Pushkin Vertigo so far have been their translated Japanese books. Ethelina White is a Welsh author. This was originally published in English, and I'm very, very curious about why they decided to sort of foray into English language books, because to my knowledge so far, they've only done books in translation. But this is the book behind the film The Lady Vanishes, which I don't know if it's Hitchcock's first film, but it's a fantastic movie. It's one of his early ones, and it's really, really wonderful. We watched it a couple of years ago, and I really, really loved it. So I'm very, very curious about the book that it's based on, because I did not know that it was based on a book. An elderly lady vanishes on a train, and a stranger who happened to have met her realizes that this woman is gone, and no one seems to be acknowledging it. It's great. Then I picked up 2 nonfiction books. The first one has been taunting me for ages. Apparently we have a copy of it at my mom and dad's, but I decided I was just gonna buy this book. So this is The Book Forger, The True Story of Literary Crime That Fooled the World by Joseph Hone. This is about a man who was a sort of superstar in the rare books world, and 2 young booksellers stumble upon a discrepancy in one of his books in 1932, realizing that he may not be all he seems. This sounds great. This sounds like right up my alley. And last but not least, I have The Walnut Tree, Women, Violence, and the Law, A Hidden History by Kate Morgan. This is a book that examines how women have been treated under British law, especially in Victorian times, the cases that shaped law, and also how those laws reflect on how women are treated today, especially in cases of sexual violence and divorce and domestic violence. Earlier this year I read, is it Thou Savage Woman by Blesson Adams, which sounds like it's going to be kind of a similar vibe in terms of what they talk about in that book and in this one. And if you're interested in like historical crime at all, I would highly recommend that. I loved that book. I thought that that was really fabulous, and I think that this one is also going to be great. So that is my Boxing Day book haul. I'm really excited to read all of these books. I'm also really excited to put them up on my new shelves after we finish wrapping up this video and everything. We are going to be doing some major shelf reorganization. In the comments below, let me know if you have picked up any new books recently, if you are also a sucker for a Boxing Day book shopping trip. Gets you out of the house, burns off some of the Christmas food that we've all been just absolutely consuming. And if you read any of these books, please do let me know where you think I should start, because there's a lot of really good stuff here. That's it for today, and I will talk to you soon.